Susan Jeffers once said, "Feel the fear and do it anyways." Hello, my name is Hector Pulido, and today I'll be sharing with you on how theater helped me overcome my fear of public speaking. Why theater was such an important experience to me in my high school years was it made me more comfortable speaking to larger groups of people, and it gave me confidence. Before every presentation, I would get stressed, nervous, and anxious about presenting in front of others, as I was afraid of embarrassing myself in front of them. But through theater, I was able to manage these fears and not let them control me. As a result, my presentations became less stressful and more manageable. So first, I'll begin how this all started and how theater slowly helped me overcome my fear of public speaking. So all began on the beginning year of my sophomore year, and we just got in our class schedule. And at first, I was just comparing my class schedule to those of my friends to see if we got the same classes. And I was excited because we did have the same classes. But that excitement quickly left as I saw for third period a class called theater. As I was already imagining the things I would have to do in that class, the stress and the nerves started settling in. And I started thinking to myself, hey, maybe this class would be about the history of theater. But I was dead wrong. And the first week of the theater class, the teacher had us do an exercise kind of similar to a game of charades, where she would call up a student, hand the student a note card, and on that note card there would be a character that student would have to play. But the important rule was that student playing that character could not speak, so they would have to act that character through only body movements and through gestures. And then the rest of the class would have to guess what character they speak. When she first announced this, I was already scared and nervous about going up and doing it, as I've never done acting in front of others. But luckily, I was the first ones to go. As other students went first or before me, and I saw them act as bikers, lumberjacks, or even clowns, it calmed me down because I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one doing these silly things, and that the other students were also willing to do it. So when my term came up, I wasn't as scared or nervous about doing it. So when I got handed my note card and I read cowboy, I'm like, okay, that's pretty simple. So what I did was I pretended to chew on some wheat, and then I pretended to spit, and then I did was bow down my hat, and the students were able to guess that I was a cowboy. And as I was going back to my seat, I remember thinking that wasn't as bad, that wasn't as scary, and I actually found it kind of fun. So I stuck with the class. I even did some other exercises. I've done a monologue in that class about me being angry at a friend for letting me get so drunk that I got a tattoo that I don't remember getting. I even did another acting with another student where we were camping and then we got attacked by a bear. And I had to put myself on the floor, pretending that I was getting attacked by a bear. And each time I did these acting in front of other students, it just became easier and easier throughout the school year, which eventually accumulated to another class, not theater, but I had to do a presentation by myself in that presentation. And it wasn't as stressful or scary when I was doing that presentation, and it was because my experiences in theater was, made me overcome that. Because I'm like, I've done more embarrassing things in front of others. I've done crazier things in front of others. It isn't as bad as presenting a history presentation. So what I've learned from this experience is that you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable and being embarrassed. That's part of the growth. And whenever I give a presentation now or tomorrow, I think back on those days of theater and I'm like, I've done worse things than whatever presentation I have to do now. I don't have to act like a cowboy in a room full of strangers anymore. I just have to present this presentation on economics. It doesn't seem as bad as the things I did in theater. And that gives me the confidence I need and makes it less stressful for me to do these presentations now. So today I shared on how theater helped me overcome my fear of public speaking. It was this class, along with my teachers and classmates, that gave me the encouragement to overcome that fear. Theater pushed me out of my comfort zone and showed me that growth comes from facing these challenges head on and not avoiding them. Looking back, I'm grateful that I took that class because it gave me the confidence that has continued to help me till this day.